The Nocturnal Nerds. I'm Fred.
I'm Eugene.
I'm Mike.
Well, today we're going to talk about the Logan movie and how much we enjoyed it or disliked it. Up first, I'm going to hit actually Mike because I want to hear what he has to say first.
He's doing this because he knows I'll disagree with his opinion on principle.
Yes.
So I actually really did like the movie. You know, I think it was a send-off for him. It was different from a lot of the X-Men movies. You know, it wasn't as theatrical. You didn't have as much, you know, the big boss fights. You know, you didn't have that build-up. It was more of a drama to me than it was a comic book movie, which was fine. You know, I mean, it played really well, and with Hugh Jackman's strength as an actor, I liked seeing that. It was also finally gave us the graphic violence we wanted in a, you know, Wolverine movie. We got to see his claws go through people's heads instead of just going off screen with people screaming.
And also, this gives Fox more open doors to do other rated R movies.
Oh yeah,
like
you just know they're going to copy that with everything now.
Well, they're making a lot of money from just saying rated R movies.
Yeah.
Now.
That is true. So far, they've already produced 2 mega hits with Logan and with Deadpool.
But of course, they're not going to realize that it's because, oh, Deadpool and Wolverine are appropriate for rated R. They're going to try to take things that don't necessarily have to be rated R, and they're going to make them just because it's popular now. You know what I mean? Like, the main X-Men universe can stay PG-13. You know what I mean? It doesn't really...
Well, I feel like the rated R, when they do rated R, though, it gives them more, like, elbow room to do more stuff with the movies.
Depending, I would prefer they just make the movie, and then it gets the rating, you know, knowing they can go up to R. Like, they should write it to be appropriate to that universe, and, you know, if it's a higher rating or lower rating, it doesn't matter.
Plus, it depends on the team that they use. Like, if they use, if I remember correctly, X-Force, yes, they can actually go R, because that team is the rated R version of the X-Men. But if it's a traditional X-Men team...
Or the New Mutants.
Or New Mutants, no, they would have to go with a PG-13 rating.
Which I noticed in the end of the movie. I noticed, like, looks like the ending is like building up to the New Mutant. Because you notice a lot of the kids, the New Mutant, they're probably setting up for a new movie for the New Mutants.
I think that's more of a nod to the New Mutants than actual setting up because of the way they're doing. Like, they set up, you know, the new reboot with Apocalypse. I don't think they're going to do that because that would just make their already convoluted timeline even more convoluted.
Oh, they're not afraid to do it, though.
But the only difference between that and, like, the timeline itself, at least they're way in the future. They're at, if I remember correctly, they're
2029.
No, I think they're further than that, 2032.
Actually, they announced...
2029.
Just 2029?
Yeah.
It's 5 years after Apocalypse.
Apocalypse takes place
No.
I mean, when they were, the Sentinels instinct everyone.
Yeah.
That was 2024. The first, remember the scene where Kitty Pryde was saying back to the past?
Yeah, but remember, that timeline got erased.
Yeah, I know.
So...
No, yeah.
See? Convoluted. Already. It would make it worse. Thank you for proving my point, gentlemen.
That's why I'm saying that because they're way into the future, they could actually just do a straight-up New Mutants.
I mean, they could, but then they have to worry about keeping, like, any storylines with the New Mutants. Like, they don't want, like, any continuity errors with anything they filmed from the past.
No, actually, no. By doing this just from this timeline, they can have a whole nother timeline. So for the other films, like Deadpool and all that takes place in present time, they can have a whole nother timeline.
Because the average moviegoer is going to be able to understand the difference that is from multiple timelines.
Hey, we have multiple universes when it comes to TV and movies.
Because the average moviegoer understands that. Sorry, average moviegoer. Assume I'm not talking to you personally.
They know the difference. Hey, if a kid knows how to program a VCR, they'll know the difference between timelines.
How do you feel about the movie?
But, like, I thought it was great seeing Xavier, like, technically being the old man, finally, like, showing his age. Finally, like...
Being senile.
Like, I thought it was actually pretty cool because, especially after Xavier's death.
Which was surprising, really, to me.
Not me. I saw it coming. Especially that scene where you just see him, like he just, like, when they kept talking about family and how he could finally have a peaceful life. And then, like, when he finally put Xavier to bed, and then when Xavier thought he was talking to Logan, it starts going on about, like, them finally finding peace and all that. I was like, I teared up because I was like, oh man, they're about to kill Xavier, man. This is some bull.
I kind of, like, I expected it from, like, before the movie even came out, but I really thought it was going to happen. Like, you know that scene where he goes to the family's house and he's like, come on, let's go to them for dinner? Like, the moment, like, they help him and they're like, hey, let's go with them for dinner. Like, he took up on that offer. I knew right then he was going to die from that because I'm just like, you see Logan's going, no, we should keep moving, and it's like, it's done.
Also, like, even in the trailers, they hint at that Xavier dies because they show a glimpse of Wolverine with the shovel in his hand and covered in blood. I thought it was actually pretty cool how it even explained what happened to the rest of the X-Men, how they end up dying because of Xavier's medical condition. He had some sort of not brain tumor, but something.
You know how he got the brain aneurysm? From watching Power Rangers, the coordinators just drove
Oh,
crazy.
shut up! Leave Power Rangers out of this, all right? Like, Power Rangers have not done anything wrong to you.
Except being corny.
Shut up.
Thank you, Eugene.
Shut up.
No,
Shut up.
okay, we're moving on. We're moving on.
Corny.
Anyways, the other thing I loved about this film was the cinematography.
Yes.
It looked gorgeous. I thought like the way they shot the film was they wanted to make sure that this felt grounded.
Mm-hmm.
That it did not have to go over the top.
Do you
to
think
get
this will
scenes.
end? Is the end of the X-Men universe? Like if they
No.
No. As long as they're making money, Fox will keep pumping those movies out.
Plus, they're gonna be introducing Cable.
I think Deadpool is going to become the new face of their franchise. Like, I as much as I love Deadpool, I hope they don't do that because Deadpool's not like something I want to see on the face of X-Men. But I feel like they're going to do with Deadpool like what they did with Wolverine. He's just going to be in everything.
I do agree with you. I don't want him to be the face of the X-Men because technically he's not a mutant. He's a mutated human. So
It's basically enhanced.
yeah, he's an enhanced. But I would actually prefer like him stay as a secondary character. You could still have him maybe pop up once in a while as
Like
goofy-
Stanley.
I feel
Like Stan Lee.
he's better with, like you guys are saying, as a cameo or as his own standalone thing.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll work. He'll either take too much attention away from everybody else if he's in a team-up movie,
Mhm.
or he'll completely derail the film and it won't like go anywhere because it's too much.
I agree with that. Unless they have like a if they do Cable and Deadpool movie, like have those two.
That makes sense. Like I said, I would still consider that a standalone movie. I just don't think he should be in team-up movies as anything other than a cameo.
No. X-Force would be the only franchise I could see them doing a team up.
All right.
Because that's actually his team.
So let's see. What did you guys not like about the movie?
I don't like the.
How it kind of dragged.
We got all the good scene. Then all of a sudden, like the couple minutes, couple hours of like nothing really. Then all of a sudden we jump into cool scene. You know, it's like, can we keep that going on?
I mean, if all of it is fighting scenes, it makes a crappy movie because it's just fighting. I mean, having those times for like the emotional build-up is part of what made it good. And I'm not just saying that to disagree with you because you're you, Eugene. I am. It did drag a little bit.
I wasn't really huge on the villain. I felt like he wasn't that strong of a villain. Like he was able to throw a few jokes in there left and right, made references to the old team and
I think they used X-24 as a reference to his son.
yes, I do believe that. I was kind of angry about that. I was kind of hoping that like when he killed Xavier, if the his third claw came out of his wrist, I would have flipped crap right then and there.
I was hoping that Hulk would have made a cameo and turned out to be the real villain in the movie.
Gosh, that'd have been messed up.
That's what I was hoping the entire time. As soon as they said, "Oh, this is gonna be Old Man Logan," it's like, come on, let's see Hulk and Wolverine fight. Let's see Hulk.
They couldn't. You know, Marvel Studios would never get.
I understand they couldn't. That doesn't mean I can't want it.
Actor Stewart said like he will come back. Like he willing to come back as Xavier for the Legion show.
No, that makes sense. That actually makes sense.
Because he said like I'm 100% up for it.
He's the best Xavier. We're never gonna find a better one.
Well, He would actually be perfect for the show too,
Yeah.
because he's not that picky as an actor.
No, he always gives his 110%. I love his work from when he did Star Trek till now. Kind of wish they would have shown us what happened to the X-Men. I would.
They announced. They said that they were going to do like flashback to what happened there, but they decided to take it out.
I understood because
the movie was kind of long and dragged a little
Yeah,
bit. That
so
would have just been
it would have.
overkill.
Yeah, would have been a
It
sad
wasn't
overkill.
about the New Mutants. The reason they didn't show that at the end, even though I wanted to see what kind of happened to him, was because it was about Wolverine. It was about his send-off.
Maybe they were talking about it later on in other movies.
And all the other X-Men movies, it's all about Wolverine because he is the one everyone goes to see.
Do you guys say this is the best Wolverine movie
Yes,
ever?
by far. It was the best one. It was best directed. Cinematography was excellent. The dialogue was far better than any of the other X-Men, and you actually felt something afterwards. All right, rating wise, what would you give it?
That's it.
Well, I really liked it. I thought it was the best Wolverine. I would have given it like a 9 out of 10, but knowing how much you guys liked it, I'm gonna have to give it a 0.
Come on, man, be honest. Actually honest. I know you want to throw this as a joke, but don't be honest. What would you rate?
You heard my honest response in my sarcasm.
I know.
9
9 out of 10 for this.
More like an 8 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
I give it. I would give it a 9.5. Like if we're talking about all the X-Men movies.
I'll say this:
It's the
it
best
gains
one out of.
bonus points for not having any of the corniness of future movies that might be coming out soon.